Hey, I'm Marisa Peer and welcome to Dilemma. You're going to watch people just like you show me their issues and overcome them. And in watching that, you might find that you can learn how to overcome your issues too. As change is possible. We get to change every day if we just know how. And you'll find out how by watching Dilemma. It's lined up right now. Let's go. Tell me, what is your dilemma? Just explain to me what your issue is so I can help you.
The thing is, through the Grow and Transform community, I've actually had a couple of revelations about it this last week since I put the form in for Dilemma. So that's been good, and I think it stems from a very long time ago. So around about, say, 20 years ago, I was about 15, 16, got in a relationship. It was quite abusive. Now, that's by the by, that was a long time ago, and I've healed from most of it. I was single for a long time. I spent 10 to 11 years on my own, didn't even go dating. So I didn't have to worry really about my body or whether I'd healed emotionally for another person or anything like that. Thinking I'd healed, I got in a relationship, and it's all came to the forefront again. Everything I ever thought bad about myself, everything that was made to feel bad about myself for, kind of came back. And I think the embarrassment I feel now stems from maybe feeling like you're wanting attention from people.
Well, let me ask you a question. Has somebody got a baby in the background, by the way? I can hear a child running around. Is that yours?
It's my little one. I was a little bit not prepared,
Okay,
I'm
don't
afraid,
worry.
because
That's
I'd only seen
okay.
the email today.
It's all right.
So
Let him run around. It's
for other
perfectly
biscuits.
okay.
She's not good.
So I want to ask you a question. I'm glad you said you had a baby, because here's my question. What is wrong with wanting attention? You have a child. When he demands attention, do you say, oh no, stop it, you're not worthy of attention? Or do you go and feed him and pick him up and hug him? How old is he or she? How old?
She's Cara. She is 14 months old.
So tell me how much attention you give Cara.
All the time. She's with me all the time.
Of course she is.
All the time. The moment she wakes up.
And Cara deserves your hugs and kisses and to be fed and picked up and changed and sitting on your knee and rocked to sleep, doesn't she? So why don't you see if you can give her attention, knowing she's worth it. She's a sweet little innocent soul. When she puts her arms out, I have no doubt you pick her up. And when she cries for attention, I have no doubt you go and give it to her. But you said, I feel bad wanting attention. What happened to you that's different to how you're mothering Cara? How is it that you feel wanting attention is wrong? When you were born, just like Cara, demanding attention, you know why you demanded? Because you knew you were worth it. Babies wake their parents up at 2 a.m. They throw up all over their clothes. They spit out. So they spend 2 hours pureeing because they think, I can have what. You see, when you're in the womb, it's like being in the Four Seasons. It's 75 degrees every day. You have 24-hour room service and someone is always there. So you're born saying, you know what? I can have whatever. I can eat when I want to. I can sleep when I want to. My daughter's just had a little baby and he sleeps all day and is up all night and he thinks that's completely normal. And it is for him because that's what he wants. So where did it go? The little girl that had, the little you that asked for attention just like Cara, what happened to her?
A lot of it does stem from then, but the blocks that I've been finding have been from being told that, well, you're always accused of stuff. When you're in a separate relationship like that, you're accused of being a certain way, aren't you? So that people can control you.
Let's make you feel great about yourself.
Yeah.
So when someone gives you attention and comes up and says, oh, you're looking wonderful, or what a great parent you are, or I love something about you, what do you do with that?
I usually make a joke. I'll use humour. I will take it. I won't make a joke. You're
going to help the audience so much today because you're really tapping into something so powerful. And I'll tell you what it is. The human brain likes what it knows. Little Cara, if when she gets to 2 and you try and do something, you go, I don't want that. I don't want that because I don't know it. My little girl liked the same breakfast cereal in the same bowl with the same spoon. And she would eat Rice Krispies breakfast, lunch, if I let her, because she wanted the same thing. And you know why she did? Because when you're 2, and you can wander out on the prairie and pick your own berries and dig up your own stuff. You only eat what you already know because it keeps you alive. So human beings have this wiring that says, let me go back to what is familiar and known, and that way I'll be safe. And the saddest thing is when people are never praised and someone says, oh, you're doing a great job. They go, oh, no, that's a fluke. I messed it up. They go, oh, I love your hair. It's filthy. I haven't washed it for 3 days. I love your jacket. It's got a hole in it. I got it in a car boot sale. So if we are not used to praise, we reject it. And you've just told me something very interesting about you and about many people on this call, and here it is. I don't feel worthy of attention or praise. When I get it, I actually reject it. What you're doing is, what is familiar is being rejected, what is unfamiliar is being praised. So you're going back to what you know. Mind likes what is familiar, but that's very good because you get to choose, hey, why don't I start to make praise familiar? Thinking I'm wonderful, believing in myself. So close your eyes, and I want you to say out loud, I'm a beautiful person and I'm worthy of love. Just say it and notice how you feel as you say it. I'm a beautiful person and I'm so worthy of love.
I am a beautiful person and I am worthy of love.
And I deserve attention just like Cara does.
And I deserve attention just like Cara does.
I'm just as lovable as she is.
I am just as lovable as she is.
And I'm just as worthy of love as she is.
And I am just as worthy of love as she is.
And keep your eyes closed and just tell me, how do you feel in your body when you say that? Do you feel sad or angry or silly or disbelieving? Silly.
Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think there's no really other word. I just feel slightly uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable is rather like unfamiliar. You see, it's uncomfortable for you to be praised. It's uncomfortable for you to feel good. So tell me just a little bit about your upbringing. You were born to a mother and a father.
Was just me and my mum and my sister.
No father around. Were you the eldest or the youngest?
I was the oldest.
Okay. And how was your mother as a mother? Did she tell you and show you she loved you every day?
She was a very, very good mum, my mum. She was. She just she had this sort of mindset that herself, it wasn't, she didn't make us, she didn't do that to us, but because she was always assume the worst and then you won't be disappointed if it's not, you know what I mean? So I think we just adopted that mindset a little bit.
And what about your father? Did you have anything to do with him?
I've met him a couple of times, but he lives quite far away, and we never really clicked. There was never any bad feelings or anything like that. We met when I was an adult, and
so I'm going to suggest something to you, which may seem a little unkind. It doesn't sound like your father made much of an effort to be with you. That's his loss, not yours. But you see, the thing is, when you're a little child, when you're not much older than Cara, if the people around you don't give you what you need, if your father doesn't bother, I mean, he could not bother because he's an alcoholic, because he's mentally ill, because he's an immature 17-year-old. Doesn't matter. A child always thinks the same thought. I guess I'm not worth it. A child doesn't know how to dislike the parent because your little girl is dependent on you. And a dependent child will always work out, oh, it must be my fault I don't have a dad. So your dad, for whatever reason, didn't bother, didn't make an effort, and that left you believing that somehow you were not worthy of somebody bothering about you. And that's not true. You're worthy of everything. But unfortunately, because it was not familiar to have a loving father present who made an effort, who sent you birthday presents, took you out at the weekends, took you to the cinema, took you on holiday, taught you to swim, all the things a father should do, because you didn't have that. And any child didn't have it would have done exactly what you did. It became unfamiliar to have someone make an effort for you. And now it's unfamiliar for you to even make an effort for yourself, but we can change what is unfamiliar and we can make it familiar. So where is your dad now? You said you don't click and you don't really see him. Is he still around?
Oh, yeah. We haven't spoken a good few years now. He's only ever met one of my children.
So he still doesn't bother with your children or with you? Okay.
No. I mean, neither do I, but I'm an adult too now.
It's okay, you've learned that he's probably not a great role model, but he should have tried when you needed him. You were a dependent child who needed a father. Now you're a grown-up woman, you don't. If this was a magic wand, I could go abracadabra, bibbidi-bobbidi-boo, tell me what you want, and I'm going to make sure you have it. Pretend I'm a Spice Girl. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Tell me right now, if I could give you something that you want so much, what is it?
Unconditional self-love.
Unconditional self-love. Well, that's a wonderful thing.
It doesn't have to come with bells and whistles.
Mm-hmm. And can I ask you a question that might be a bit personal? What's the situation with Cara's father?
Oh, we're together. We've been together for 3 years now. He's absolutely wonderful. It didn't nearly work, obviously, because I hadn't healed and all of it.
So you let him love you? You let him praise you and tell you you're wonderful?
We actually watched the Love and Relationship reinvent yourself something together. We watched Weekends together. We took a lot from that, a lot.
So I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that you've gone back in time and someone's given you an amazing dad. In fact, the best dad in the whole world has been just put into your orbit. And you've got a best dad in the whole world for Karas. You know what that's like. If you had the most amazing father, what would he say to you? Tell me what he would say to you.
I'm actually going to emulate my partner here, and yeah, and he calls her his little cupcake. He calls her beautiful every day. He tells her he loves her every single day, several times a day before he leaves work, when he comes
So
home.
slow down. I want you to imagine you've got this loving father. Close your eyes. I want you to imagine you're holding little you, little Lisa, and I want you to say, I'm becoming a loving father to you now. Just say, imagine you're holding little Lisa, you as a little girl who had a father who wasn't on. I want you to imagine saying, I'm becoming a loving father to you.
I'm becoming a loving father to you.
And no one in the whole world
And no one in the whole world
can play this role like I can.
can play this role like I can.
I love you completely.
I love you completely.
I love you unconditionally.
I love you unconditionally.
You're worthy of all my time.
You're worthy of all my time.
You're worthy of all my praise.
You're worthy of all my praise.
You're worthy of love.
You're worthy of love.
You're worthy of time.
You're worthy of time.
You deserve all my love.
You deserve all my love.
And all my attention.
And all my attention.
Because you're worth it.
Because you're worth it.
So I want you to just imagine if someone had done that to you, if you had a father doing that to you all through your life, how would you have turned out?
I don't want to say better because I don't think I'm bad, but possibly happier, maybe more confident.
You would have had that thing called self-esteem. Open your eyes. So you've turned out amazingly. Of course, we're not going to try and make you someone else, but you would have had, you know, they used to have these adverts for kids going to school who'd had oatmeal for breakfast, the ready break, and they had this kind of thing around them. You would have been a bit like that. You would have just had more emotional resilience. And many people on this call and all around the world had absent fathers, selfish fathers, or no father. And I'd love to go back and give you a great dad. I can give you the next best thing, what a great dad would say. Great dad would say, Lisa, parenting you is the joy of my life. Lisa, how did I get so lucky to have a kid like you? And you know, he isn't going to do that. You know who can do that? You. So you have to start saying what I call the missing bit. There's a missing bit of the puzzle in Lisa, and it's the words you never heard. And you had a right to hear those words. You deserve to hear those words. But you know what? It's never too late to start saying, I'm the best kid in the world. I'm proud of myself. My dad was lucky to have a child, because he is lucky, because you've forgiven him. And you're not even holding him accountable. That's how nice you are. So I want you to imagine, close your eyes and imagine that every day you have the joy and the honor of filling yourself up with what a good dad would say. What a good dad would say is, wow, I got the best kid in the world. Being your parent is the joy of my life. I love parenting you. I'm so proud of you. This isn't rocket science. I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're here. You make the world a better place. You're the joy of you're my own little cupcake, just like your guy says to your own daughter. But I'd love you to spend a few minutes every day pretending. Imagine every time Kara's dad says something to her that you close your eyes and imagine an imaginary dad saying it to you, because you know the mind doesn't know and it doesn't care if it's true or false. When you say, I'm a great kid, the mind doesn't go, who's saying that? Where did that? It just goes, oh, let me let that sink in. You know, if you put butter on toast, can the toast reject the butter? Of course not. Well, you're like the toast and the words are the butter. And you're not going to reject, they're going to sink in and nourish you from the inside out. So I promise you, you said you'd love unconditional confidence. Well, you can do a better job than anyone of doing that by just imagining you've got this imaginary dad who turns up and says, you're the best kid in the world. I love you so much. You know what? All your life you're going to find someone who loves you because I love you. You know, many years ago, I had a baby, said to my best friend, and my best friend was saying to her baby something. She said, I love you so much. You'll never find anyone who loves you like me. I love you so much and nobody could ever love you like me, but it wasn't beautiful. I said, you know what you're doing? You're telling her that she'll never find that love again. How about saying, I love you so much because you're lovable, and when you grow up, everyone's going to love you like I love you because you're a lovable person. So even good parents say things like, nobody could love you like me. You'll never find anyone to love you like me. And that isn't true when you love your child. You say, I love you because you're a lovable, precious thing, and all your life you're going to find love because you're lovable. Now, you didn't hear that, but it is never too late to fill yourself up with those missing words. And you have your partner saying it to Cara. So every time he says it, just imagine a father figure saying it to you, letting it in. And that's how you'll grow in confidence and self-esteem. Many of us get dished out, not very great parents, because our parents are often so childish. They're growing up next to us. We think, oh, their job is to raise me. They can't even raise themselves. But the joy is if you have an absent parent, become that loving parent yourself, because you can do it better than anyone. When we're children, we need a mummy and a daddy. But now you've got children, you've got a partner, and you can do a better job than him of filling yourself up with the words you should have heard. And it's never too late to hear. Does that make sense?
That does. No, that does. This community has and yourself, Marissa, listen to these audios. It has absolutely changed my life and my mindset. And yeah, this
I
has
want you
been
to do one
amazing.
more thing, and I want anyone on the call to join in. I want you to say out loud, I am worthy of love and attention because, and I want you to finish that sentence as fast as you can without thinking about it. Let's go. Ready, steady. I am worthy of attention because...
I am worthy of attention because I am lovable, I am funny, and I am kind.
And I'm deserving of attention because... Start and finish that sentence.
I am worthy of attention because I am lovable, I am deserving of it, I am funny, and I am kind.
Yes.
Thank
So
you so much,
say that
Marissa.
every day, let it sink in, and it's going to change your whole life. You're worthy and you're deserving. Say it, state it, affirm it, because you know this is for you, but it's also for those two children who need to see a happy mother. Because a happy, self-assured mother with high self-esteem passes that on to their kids. And we're so busy giving our kids organic food and teaching them Mandarin. What we need to teach them is to believe in themselves. That's more important than anything else in the world. But you've got to lead. You can't do it unless you're already doing it for yourself. So go, I believe in myself, I like myself, I'm amazing. And you will have children who believe in themselves, like themselves, and know they're amazing. Because you know what? Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, that's the plan. That is one of my very end goals is, or my lofty goals, as they would call them, is to be that role model.
But that's not a lofty goal, that's an easy goal. If you take the steps, which are in the shower, and when you're cleaning your teeth, waiting for the kettle, to say, I am worthy of love, I'm deserving of love, I'm lovable, I'm enough. Thank you, darling. I'm so pleased you turned up. So I'm sad that you had a mother and aunts who all criticise you. Would you mind telling me some of the things they said to you?
Like pretty much offer diets, tips to me, or they shove Slimming World pamphlets in my hand.
What age were you when this began?
About 16.
So at 16, your relatives began to tell you that you should be slimmer and thinner, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
What was your mother's body weight like?
She's been big her whole life, probably up until when she had me. Maybe a little afterwards that she slimmed down and became really, successful and really skinny. And she's trying to sort of put that on me to be the same size, same weight. She always tells me that if you're skinnier, you can get more jobs, you will get more love in your life, you will get, pretty friends in your group. And that's kind of rattled me a little bit.
I'm not surprised. More love, more friends, if you're skinny.
Yeah.
What a concept. Okay. And the aunties who also joined in with giving you these pamphlets, what was their body weight like?
They've always been skinny. I think nowadays in their older age, they've probably on the slightly skinny side. And they're also trying to get me to be on that same weight size as well.
So Close your eyes and imagine you're the 16-year-old Jen and you hear this every day. The pamphlets, they're bringing you probably home diet food and telling you don't eat that. What do you think that did to you, being told all the time, don't have that and have this and you'll have a nicer life if you're skinny?
It kind of broke my confidence a little bit because it makes me feel like I can't really enjoy the childhood food, the sweets.
And I can hear it in your voice. It was painful because what you heard was, you're not enough just the way you are. You got
Yeah,
to lose weight to be lovable. It's like someone saying you've got to gain, I love you if you get smart, I love you if you have a degree, I love you if you get straight A's, I love you if you drop 10 pounds. What you hear is, oh, you don't love me the way I am. You know, when I was a kid, I had a 30-inch waist, it's hard, and I had triple knees. I had the fattest legs you could imagine. And now I've got such skinny legs, but I had really fat legs when I was a kid, little kid, not when I was a teenager. But you know, you have one body. The body you've got right now, what you turned out with today is the most priceless, mind-boggling thing you'll ever own. And that poor body heard all the time, you're not good enough, you've got to change. And when you hear that, you learn to hate your body, to try and force it to change, to try and starve it, make it go for runs, to punish it. You know, I was looking at Kim Kardashian with that 19-inch waist last night, thinking, how ridiculous. What a thing to aspire to. I mean, who wants to learn corset breathing? I mean, for what? So you've got a 19-inch waist? Some of us have got 19-inch thighs, and that's a wonderful thing too. So you have to remember that the little girl heard, you're not enough the way you are. You've got to be thinner, smarter, prettier, taller, more well-behaved. There are many ways of telling us we're not enough, but you heard you're not enough and you've got to lose weight to be lovable. And that's not right, because you needed someone to say, I love you, like when, you know, with my little baby, I used to love her triple thighs and her chubby cheeks and the little fat pads on her hands, and all of that is a wonderful thing. And no one showed you how to celebrate you. In fact, you heard the opposite, how to criticize you, how to believe you're not enough. So close your eyes. And even though your parents are there, I want you to imagine saying to your body, I'm so sorry, body, that you heard so much criticism. May feel a bit weird, but do it anyway. I'm so sorry, body.
I'm so sorry, body.
That everybody criticized you.
But everyone criticized
And it's okay to cry, because I want you to let this out. I'm so sorry that you never felt you're enough.
I'm so sorry that you never felt that you were enough.
And no one saw your beauty.
And no one saw your beauty.
But I see it.
But I see it.
I see the miracles you perform for me every day.
I see the miracles that you perform for me every day.
And I love you.
And I love you.
You are the most priceless,
You are the most priceless,
mind-boggling thing
mind-boggling thing
I will ever own.
that I would ever own.
And I love all of you.
And I love all of you.
I'm going to love you so much.
And I love you so much.
And the more I love you,
The more that I love you,
the more you'll be lovable to me.
the more you'll be lovable to me.
I will never hate you. Say, I'll never hate you
I will never hate you
or criticize you.
or criticize you.
I'm just going to love you
I'm just going to love you
because you're lovable.
because you're lovable.
And my aunties were wrong.
My aunties were wrong.
My mum was wrong.
My mum was wrong.
You don't have more friends if you're skinny.
You don't have more friends if you're skinny.
That's not even true.
Not even true.
I want you to look at your body and go, I love you.
I love you.
I appreciate you.
I hate you.
I've been disconnected from you for a long time,
I've been disconnected from you for a long time.
but today I'm totally connecting with you.
But today I'm totally connected with you.
And how beautiful you are.
How beautiful you are.
How amazing you are.
And how amazing you are.
And how incredible you are.
And how incredible you are.
And all the great things you do for me every day.
And all the great things you do for me every day.
And I love you just the way you are.
I love you just the way you are.
And I always will.
And I always will.
So just stay with your eyes closed. I promise you, Jennifer, as you begin to love your body, you can even imagine Barry White singing in your head, I love you just the way you are. If you begin to love your body, really love it, some amazing things happen. The first thing is you begin to really want to eat, but you think, I love my body enough to have an apple instead of a donut. I love my body enough to have broccoli instead of pizza. It comes from self-love. When you get into self-hatred, you think, no, I need more pizza, more donuts, because it's an act of hatred. When you love your body, you start to want to give it better stuff, but also it just becomes so lovable to you. It becomes completely lovable when you love your body and honor it and respect it. And your poor body's been criticized since you were 16 years old for no reason. You're beautiful, you've got beautiful skin. You're amazing. You've got a body. Some of us don't have that. Some of us have got bits missing. But you have a beautiful body, and all your body is known. I don't know how old you are now. How old are you?
31.
31. Did you?
Yeah.
So for 16 years, your body's been criticized, and that's not right. But it's time today for you can say, I'm going to change all that by loving my body. What's familiar to my body is criticism, but I'm going to make praise. I'm going to look at Walton and go, I love my body. It's amazing. So your body's had a lot of criticism, but now you can make loving it familiar. Just love your body every day. Because it is an amazing thing, isn't it?
It is.
Everyone can see what you haven't yet seen, your beautiful inside and out. Thank you, darling. And tell your mom, if she starts to say, Mom, back off. I'm not having this conversation. Anytime you comment on my body, I'm leaving the room. Just say to her, this is 20, we don't do body shaming anymore. Catch up with the times. We are not, and don't allow her to do it. Just pick up your phone, put on some music, say, da-da-da-la-la-la, I'm not listening. And she'll soon stop. The minute she starts, get your phone, go to something, put on some music and just go, not listening. I'm not letting this in. You're no longer going to comment on my body. And she'll get that message very quickly. Because it's beautiful. So much. You're welcome, darling. Sending you so much love. Bye-bye. So you think that your body sabotages you. Tell me what you said before. Your body sabotages you.
Yes, I feel every time I want to do something more, that I get this break from my body. Sort of when I want to either work more or shift my business. I am currently a primary school teacher. I have 3 kids and horses, and I do equine assisted therapy. So in the afternoons, I work with kids and also adults. And when I try to sort of tweak and twist in order to, earn more, because as a public school teacher, I'm super underpaid, I feel. I just start to get colds and, sort of.
So you're doing something very interesting. You're separating your body. You're talking about your body like it's a separate entity. My body gets sick. My body won't let me. But really, you're a mind and a body and a body and a mind, and you can't separate the two. So I think we need to look at your mind a little more. I want you to say some interesting statements, and I want you to just put an ending. Like, when I say yellow, I think of tulips. So I want you to do this, and I want you to don't think. It's what I call lose your mind and come to your senses. I want you to say out loud, I won't let myself succeed because, and finish that statement as fast as you can. Go.
Because I'm afraid.
I want you to say the whole thing. I won't let myself succeed because, just go.
I won't let myself succeed because I'm afraid of failing completely.
And if I failed completely, that would mean, just start and finish the entire sentence.
If I failed completely, that would mean that I am letting down the people I love, and that I'm not using the gifts that I was given by the universe.
Close your eyes. I want you to imagine you can turn yourself inside out and go inside and look at yourself. And you can find the part of you, as weird as it sounds, we have lots of parts, confidence parts, nervous parts, sexual parts, happy parts, scared parts. I want you to find the part of you that holds you back. And I want you to say, I hold myself back because, and just again, whatever comes up, it's all good. Just say, I hold myself back because.
I hold myself back because I feel I'm not good enough.
I know I'm not good enough because.
I know I'm not good enough because I still struggle to pay the bills.
And I want you to tell me, when did you first begin to know or believe that you were not good enough? When did that first happen, where you began to know or suspect you were not good enough?
Two things come up. First was when I had my baby, which was 16 years ago. And after having him, which was the most beautiful, still is the most beautiful thing for me, but I couldn't handle it all.
Because there's the most influential word in the entire language, which I couldn't handle it because
I had no support.
So where was the baby's father?
Was there, but super immature.
So you had to do it all by yourself. And how has this 16-year-old boy turned out?
He's the most incredible person.
So you did a great job all by yourself.
Okay.
So it sounds like with no experience and very young, you raised a son, and he's an amazing boy. So I'm going to ask you again, why won't you let yourself succeed? I want you again to say, I don't allow myself to succeed because, just start and finish that sentence. I don't allow myself to succeed because.
I don't allow myself to succeed because I fear I can't give out what that I can't sort of step out with the gifts I have.
Because, say that again, I can't show the world my gifts because.
I can't show the world my gifts because they won't appreciate it.
And I know they won't appreciate it because, start and finish that sentence. I know
they won't appreciate it because they haven't until now.
Tell me about the gifts that you won't let the world see in case they don't appreciate. What are these gifts?
I'm really good with children and teenagers. I just have this flow connection, and I can make them feel really safe with me. And I can really make them feel loved and appreciated, and that they see that in themselves as well.
Tell me about your own mother. What was she like?
She's an amazing woman, very successful, but she was very in the doing, a single mom, in high management position, never there, high standards for everything, perfectionist.
So there it is, you see, you have conflicting thoughts. If I was like my mother, I would never be there. So you have a belief you can either be a great mum and sacrifice all your gifts, or you have all your gifts and sacrifice being a mother. So somebody told you one day that you couldn't have it all. Who told you you couldn't have it all?
That's definitely her. I can just hear her saying,
Tell me, hear it now and say it. Say it as if you're relaying it straight to me from her mouth.
I'm not a Rockefeller. You can't have it all. You can't have a horse, and you can't do the dancing, and you can't have it all. It's not possible.
And because you heard that so much and saw your mother as a career woman who wasn't emotionally that available, you formed a belief, I can be a great mother or I can be a great career person, but I can't have it all. And when a lot of us are told that something's got to give, you can't have it all. You can have all of it all the time if you know how. You can have a great love, be a great parent, and have it requires a bit of balance, but you can definitely have all of it. The first thing, though, is you have to believe you're worth it. And I think your mother saying you can't have it all made you believe you weren't worth it. I want you to take a minute right now and say, I can have everything.
I can have everything.
I'm a great mother.
I'm a great mother.
And I'll go on being a great mother.
I'm going to go on being a great mother.
I understand children.
I understand children.
I have a gift for teaching.
I have a gift for teaching.
And I can monetize that gift.
And I can monetize that gift.
I can become very well paid for the gifts I have.
I can become very well paid for the gifts that I have.
I can have it all.
I can have it all.
And nothing has to give.
And nothing has to give.
Because the truth is, you can have it all.
I can have it all.
But in order to have it all, you have to believe you're worth it. And your mother told you that you weren't. She made a point of saying, I'm not Rockefeller. I can't afford that. I don't have the money. We can't have that. And when that happens, you begin to think, oh, I can only have one thing. If I have love, I can't have success. If I have success, I can't have love. If I have success, my kids will suffer. How many children do you have now?
3.
How old are they? I know you have a 16-year-old son.
16, 14, and 11. And 11 and 14 are actually children from my new husband, new partner.
And you tell them every day you can't have it all. There's no way you can have it all. If you're good at sport, you'll be terrible at maths. If you're good at drawing, you'll be awful at science. You tell them that?
No, never.
You say you can have everything, don't you? Because they can, can't they?
Yes.
So I want you to imagine your mother's right in front. Let's do something interesting. Imagine your mother is there. I want you to go, Mum, why did you keep telling me I couldn't have it all? Just imagine she's there and say the words as if I'm your mum and you're talking to me and saying, hey, Mum, why did you tell me that I couldn't have it all so much until I believed it to be true? Do that now.
Mom, why did you tell me that I can't have it all so often that I believed it?
I'm going to click my fingers. I want you to imagine as I click my fingers, you're switching places with your mother. You're becoming the mother, looking out at your beautiful daughter. Tell her right now, why did you tell her she couldn't have it all? Why did you tell her?
Because I couldn't have it all. I had to work, and there was no place for me, I just had to provide.
So now go back and be you again, and your mother just told you something interesting, that she made her story your story. You know, one of my clients told me years ago, his father said, stand on a table, jump, and I'll catch you. As he jumped, father walked away and said, don't trust anyone ever. You see, that's your first lesson, never trust anyone. Someone else said, my mother told me, never trust men, never be successful, you'll never find a husband if you're successful. And what we do is we make someone else's story our story. That man who said, I can never trust him because of what my father did. The woman who said, my mother said, if you're too smart, you'll never find a husband. You see, that's not our story, that's someone else's story. Your mother's story is not yours. Her story is in a different time. I don't know how old you are when your mother had you, but probably wasn't like it was today. But your mother had to do everything herself. You felt the same when you raised your son. You were doing it yourself, but now you have a loving husband and you're raising his children along with yours, and you've got great skills for helping children. So you're not like your mother. She has a story, but you have a different story. You can edit your story, rewrite your story. You can change your whole story. Your story can be, hey, I could be like Maria Montessori. I could create something to go to the school system. I could help children read. I could become like Dorling Kinsey. There's so many things out there. And most parents who send their kids want them to have more. They were looking for ways to educate them. So you've got a gift in you, and you can monetize that. You could start by writing a book. You could write a book on how to educate kids. You could get that in the school system because you're not your mother. So you have to decide, okay, her story isn't my story. Your story is yours to edit, to upgrade. And just because she told you you couldn't have it all, now you can tell yourself that you can have it all. Our greatest challenge is making someone else's story our story. Your grandmother's story is not your mother's story, and your mother's story is not your story. And your story is not your children's story either. This is very simple for everyone on the call. Our greatest fear is rejection. If I show you my gifts, you might go, ugh. If I write a book, you might not like it. If I make a product, you might not like it. So we have a fear of rejection because not that long ago, rejection could kill us. We had to belong to a tribe, and if they banished us or cast us out, we were dead. But today you can live in an apartment with 6 cats, have everything delivered, and never see anyone till you're 108. And you're not going to die of rejection anymore. It won't kill you. It feels like it might. But what will hurt you more than being rejected is dimming your light. You got a gift. You got a gift for helping children. That is an amazing gift. So many people need your gift of how to shape young minds and help them. And you don't serve anyone by dimming your light just in case somebody might not like it because someone else might love it. So how do you feel now?
I feel that that somehow I need to cut the story off. Yes, change the thought I can have it all.
You know, when I was a kid, my grandmother, if I walked into a shop to buy some Tampax, she would have gone bright red on the spot, because in her day, you didn't mention the word Tampax. They were wrapped up in brown paper. You took them home with a great sense of shame, and you never mentioned the word period. You know, people wouldn't talk about it. Nowadays, we don't think like that. Girls talk about their period. When you see adverts on television, they finally have the picture as red and not blue ink, and we're just normal about it. I remember going to my cousin's wedding, and my grandmother couldn't understand why my cousin had sex before marriage, because she thought women hated sex, and then he did that after they got married. She was completely baffled by it because she was brought up in a different generation where it was a bargaining tool. You made someone marry you. So women, sex was the price women paid for marriage, and marriage was the price men paid for sex. Nobody believes that anymore, well, not in the world we live in. So you have to realize that in making your mother's story your story, you've caused yourself pain, because you can't be your mother. If your mother was a saint, you couldn't be her. You could only be you. You were given different gifts. And although you came from your mother, you actually came through your mother. The universe that put you here gave you some very unique gifts and skills, and that universe will support you 1,000,000% as you find and monetize your skill set. The universe will give you a skill, but if it gives it to you, it will also support you in monetizing it. And there are many people who've monetized the skill. Who would have thought we'd be paying for ringtones and bottled water? And who would have thought that smelly old trainers would become a fashion? That my daughter's age love buying that. I wouldn't have thought of that. But you see, you have a gift, and you were given that gift. And when you're given a gift, you're also given the responsibility of using that gift. And if your gift is to help children, you owe it to the whole world. Like imagine if J.K. Rowling never wrote Harry Potter. So many kids loved reading. They said, oh, I love to read only because of you. I hated reading, now I love it. And so many people who have a gift, you know, Ed Sheeran had a gift of showing people, you've got red hair and milk bottle glasses, you can be a rock star. Eminem said, if you're white with blonde hair, you can be a rapper. You can go to black clubs and beat them, because if you have a gift, you've got to share that gift.
And I can be a teacher and a millionaire.
Of course you can.
Why
because
not?
you need to write some books. I mean, there are a lot of people who've done that. They've written books, they've created programs, they've put things into the school system. It's never been easier. You can go to YouTube and learn how to make a product, how to sell it. So don't hold back. Only habits hold you back. And the biggest habits that hold you back are habits of thought that go, I'm not enough. Who am I? What if it fails? What if you are enough? What if it's amazing? What if it makes you a millionaire? What if kids all over the world live a better life because of you? And you can say, wow, you know, I did something. Do you know who Bernardo's is? Have you heard of Dr. Bernardo?
No.
Have you heard of Marva Collins?
Also not.
Read Marva Collins, for M-A-R-V-A. She revolutionized how children were taught in inner city schools. And Maria Montessori and Steiner and so many people had an idea, and they certainly monetized it. So go ahead and just have a look at what you know. Get some YouTube tutorials and create your own program. And then you can start selling it into schools. You can sell it anywhere, because everybody who has a kid says, I'll pay money because I want a child that's a happy kid with high self-esteem. And you have some of the answers, and not everyone does.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, we've just put in Dubai, our RTC, I just created a thing called a cheerleader. It's in the school system, and it's going into Qatar and Egypt and Kuwait. It's all over Dubai.
The 5-day challenge.
Yeah, and I'm not a teacher, but I created that because I know what children need, or I know some of what they need. And actually, when people say, but you're not a teacher, they know, but that's a good thing, because this is not an education, this is a fun activity. So never think, gosh, and read my book, Tell Yourself a Better Lie. because that's what you need to do. If you're going to tell yourself a lie, I'm not good enough, I might fail, at least tell yourself a better one. I'm amazing and I can only succeed. And if you're willing to lie to yourself, tell yourself about, in fact, lie, cheat, and still lie to your mind, cheat, fear, steal back the bravado you were born with. Write your book. You know, some of the best writers had no experience. They didn't go to writing, they just wrote something. Like J.K. Rowling, she wrote in a cafe, she had no money. She's one of the wealthiest women in the world now. So don't wait and think, well, who am I to write? Just write what you know. Give people the gift of your gift, share it.
Thank you.